All right, everybody, this is the planet Earth here. We have a hurricane emergency for central to southern Florida, all the way from Cocoa, Florida, all the way down to Homestead. You guys need to be taking your precautions right now. This isn't a joke. This isn't funny. This isn't something that you take lightly. Take this very seriously. I went through Hurricane Irma, and that was a biatch. It's time that you guys take this seriously. Bahamas, take it seriously right now. This is going to be turning out, I think it's going to be a massive hurricane based on the model. Look at the water. Let's see the temperature of the water real quick. Oh, let's see what the temperature is of that water. Let's see here. 80 degrees temperature. That's perfect for this hurricane. All right, guys. Right now, I need you guys to get ready. If you guys are within southern Florida, if you guys are anywhere near 95 or A1H, is it A1H? I forgot that. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. A1, I think it's the A1H. Yeah, A1A. A1A, sorry. You guys are near A1A, A18, or near 95, anywhere near the Interstate 95 in southeast Florida, Fort Lake City, Palm Bay, Coca, Vera. You guys are going to get a lot of flooding going on, inland surge of flooding. If you're from Florida, you know hurricanes, and you know this could be as bad as Andrew in 91. I think it was 91. I think it hit Homestead really badly. A lot of surge, 2 feet of water or so. It was really bad. I don't remember how deep it was, but it was pretty deep. And I need you guys to really start getting your shit together. Get your water, get your flashlights, get everything. This isn't even a joke anymore. You're not funny. These hurricanes, they cause a lot of damage. And this one I'm concerned about because of the way it's coming up. It's going to cause a lot of inland flooding. So, guys, get your shit together right now. Right now. This is an emergency. You guys need to get your shit together right now. Okay, so according to the ECMWF, it wants to hit Boynton Beach, and to the GFS, it wants to hit about Sebastian, Vero Beach, Palm Bay. So somewhere in between, maybe Tequesta, maybe Stewart and Port St. Lucie, maybe. We'll know in a couple of days, but they're starting to kind of pinpoint on just north of Miami type of thing. Guys, get ready. If you're in Port St. Lucie, I would be more concerned than if I was in like South Miami, okay? Because there's not much of a difference now. So maybe Palm Beach, maybe Port St. Lucie, Palm Bay, Coca. You guys need to prepare now. Get your flashlights. Buy all the flashlights. Order through Amazon. Get some flashlights. I recommend Coast flashlights. They're like $25, $26. They have a lot of lumens, like 600 lumens. I recommend a polysteel flashlight from Coast. Or order it next day or same day delivery if you can. Get it there as soon as possible. Get a 48 pack of batteries or 36 pack of batteries from the Home Depot before they run out. And if you can't, order them online and get them to your house same day. You could be without power for a few days. This could be a Cat 4 or even a Cat 5. If we go up in elevation of surface, we'll see how much the winds are going to be. All right, so according to this, not surface winds, thank God. But this is the GFS. We're looking at about a Cat 3 or 4. NOAA is thinking that it might be a Cat 3 or 4. That's not good. And according to the EFS or ECMWF, this could easily be a Cat 3 or 4. But we're not even talking about wind gust, okay? Let's get some wind gusts. 135 mile an hour wind gusts. You're looking at about a Cat 3 or Cat 4. Let's go ahead and just go in slowly. Let's see what those highest of the winds are going to be for the ECMWF. Okay. Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. Pay attention. These are a lot of wind gusts. These are wind-damaging wind gusts. Boynton Beach, Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale. This is an emergency situation. Take this seriously. You're looking at over 130 mile an hour wind gusts. 133. This is not good, but obviously, this is elevated though, but it doesn't matter at this point. Let's go down to surface. and then look at wind gusts. Okay, 140-mile-an-hour winds on the surface. Not good. Not good at all. This is not good. So there's nothing to really block it. Looks like Fort Lauderdale is going to get winds of over 100. That's not good. 113, 111. Oh no, this is not good. This is a hell lot stronger than what's going to hit Miami from Hurricane Irma. Miami, if you're lucky, could get winds of an estimated 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Unless it moves a little bit more south, because it's not very far from the 70-mile-an-hour winds to Fort Lauderdale, which is like 20, 30 miles away, and they could be getting winds of over 100 miles per hour, 126-mile-an-hour in wind gusts. I'm more worried about those wind gusts because the wind gusts are the ones that cause the most damage, not the continuous winds. But the standard winds show way off, 64-mile-an-hour winds, but then gusting. This is not exactly 100% accurate. But I do believe the gust of 120-mile-an-hour wind, 124-mile-an-hour wind, and then on the northeast quadrant, we're looking at over 133-mile-an-hour wind gusts. But we still have a couple more days, and the storm is still intensifying. We'll know on the next update, almost 140-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That is a lot of damage that's about to happen. If you live near Palm Beach, or if you live even in inland South Bay, Pahokee, Clewiston, Moorhaven, LaBelle, Ave Maria, you guys need to be careful either way. I mean, it doesn't matter. Inland, of course, is going to die, but it's still pretty strong. Even inland, still put 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It's going to die quickly, thank God, but it's going to hurt everybody here on the east part of southern central Florida. Still 80-mile-an-hour winds when it comes into South Bay. Even 80-mile-an-hour winds, even in the middle of Florida, Moorhaven, you could be getting 66-mile-an-hour wind gusts. On the northeast part, it's going to bring some flooding from Lake Okeechobee. Is that Lake Okeechobee? I forgot the name. Yeah, Okeechobee, whatever. That's going to push a lot of wind. If you have any houses here on the northwest part of Lake Okeechobee, I would be very careful. Okay, going on to the west side, this could be a major hurricane. And we're still looking at winds of over 80 miles an hour in gust. So that's still pretty strong hurricane even after it comes on land. And then let's see where it heads. I think it's going to head north. Yep. So it's going to head north, and then it's going to attack South Carolina, Georgia, of course. Southeast Georgia is going to get it. And for the GFS, it shows a lot less, but that's not what NOAA's saying. So it's not at 1,000% accurate. Now let's go back over here. We're just looking at wind gust right now. They're saying it's not going to be that strong, but the ECMWF seems to be more accurate on what's actually happening. So guys, right now, pay attention to the high wind gusts, okay? Even if you're hundreds of miles out, you're still going to get 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So even if you live in like, let's see, even if you live in Key Largo, you could experience 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. If you live in Homestead, it's about 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. If you live in downtown Miami, which is about 20 miles away, 27 miles away, 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts. If you're in Pembroke Park, sorry, not Pembroke Pines, 104-mile-an-hour wind gusts, that's not good. And then, of course, Boca Raton, 120, that's when it starts to get really, really, really bad. And, of course, Boynton Beach, you're looking at winds of over 120. Let's go back up a little bit. You could be experiencing winds of 139-mile-an-hour winds in gusts on the surface. Now, as for the standard winds, I don't know if this is 100% accurate. I can't really tell. Last year this was more accurate, but it's showing that it's going to be like a Cat 2. Cat 1, but it hasn't updated yet. We'll see in a minute what happens when it gets stronger. But on the surface for now, it's saying 70-mile-an-hour winds. But you also have to remember the inland surge of water, regardless of what the wind is. We're still going to have a surge of water coming up onto Palm Beach, Juno Beach, Lake Park, Tequesta. all this place is going to be flooded with salt water, and um, and the Everglades are going to get rocked again with some wind. At least it'll be in the 70s when it happens, but still, it'll be a little bit cooler. But for now, guys, get ready because, damn. Yeah, this doesn't look very good. And if you're talking about wind gusts, we're looking at winds over 130-mile-an-hour wind gusts, so it's going to get really bad and really windy really quickly. And it could be even stronger than this. Some are saying it could even be a Cat 4, a strong Cat 4, and possibly even to a Cat 5. So this is an emergency. Get your preparedness now. This isn't like Hurricane Irma, where Irma went to Cuba, smashed Cuba, died a lot, and then went up north and then hit Miami. This is a little bit different. It's coming straight towards Florida, and there's really nothing to block it. So guys, get ready and get ready now. Get ready because your power is going to get cut out most likely. With this kind of wind, it most likely will. If you don't have Verizon, I recommend that you get Verizon because Verizon has backup generators. AT&T, I don't know if they have some of the backup generators on their cell phone towers in Florida. I never really looked, but I know that Verizon has backup generators. And not only do they have backup generators, but their generators float. Let me show you an example. Hold on. I know that some of them in Florida are supposed to actually float. When it starts to flood, they start to go up and they start to float. But right now, I need you guys to get ready. If you don't have Verizon, you might lose cell phone service. T-Mobile went out in Hurricane Irma, and a lot of people switched to Verizon. AT&T, I'm not 100% sure if AT&T had coverage at the time, but I know that Verizon, even during the hardest part of the winds, I was still live streaming and uploading videos, as you could tell by my Hurricane Irma footage. So please, I didn't like the kind of wind that I was experiencing with Hurricane Irma, and that wasn't even the strongest hurricane possible. And it caused a lot of tree damage. Trees got knocked over. Power lines were knocked down. Those stupid light poles got knocked over. And that was just Hurricane Irma with like 70 to 80-mile-an-hour wind gust. 130-mile-an-hour wind gust. That's going to really start to destroy a lot of trees. Trees are going to come down like crazy. I remember seeing all the trees that were down near Homestead. A lot of tree damage. I mean, it looked like a disaster, I don't know, they uprooted like nothing, but you gotta also remember it's 80 mile. It was 80-mile-an-hour wind gust, and then in the back of the hurricane, I remember there was these electric lines that are going woo, coming from the power plant on the southeast side of Homestead. I went to go look at it, and the winds were so strong that you could literally see the actual gigantic power lines. They were actually making a gigantic whistling noise, going woo. There was so much wind that it was crazy. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And they were making a lot of noise. So yeah, guys, get ready. There is a hurricane coming. Get ready and get ready because this could be a massive hurricane. And based on what I'm seeing right here, actually, I'm thinking this is going to be a massive hurricane. Yeah, no, this is definitely going to be a massive hurricane on the northeast quadrant. Get ready, guys, because it's coming.